I've talked about this before, but it's essentially where we negotiate a great deal for you so that we're able to 5% interest rate. Yes. And on top of that, because she's VA, we were able to help her buying a home that is under 5 years old, that is going to have all the bells and whistles, and that typically you would buy it for over $400,000. If you're thinking of buying a property in El Paso, but you don't know what is the best area for you and your family, this is definitely a video you want to check out. I am going to be covering the difference of the areas in Horizon, because if you are somebody that used to live in El Paso, chances are you're going to hear Horizon and think this is the outskirts, there is nothing but desert out there, but that could not be further than the truth. The truth is that Horizon has dramatically changed. There is a lot of investment happening, from new builds to commercial real estate, and really El Paso is growing in such a beautiful way that if you would have told me back in the day Horizon, it would have just been all dirt. But now we have a lot of different areas, so I'm going to cover that for you. I'm also going to be showing you the difference between the old Horizon and the new Horizon, because there is a difference. And for you guys that maybe are looking for something more in the outskirts and you want maybe more agriculture zoning, you want to maybe have a ranch, or maybe you want to have your, I don't know, RV parking, and you want to have over 10,000 square feet on your lots and your neighbors be super far and have no type of, local shopping centers, then there's an area for you. But if you're on the flip side of that and you're like, no, Alexa, I need to have a Walmart down the street, a Starbucks down the street, a burger joint down the street, fitness centers, and everything of that nature, then this is definitely going to be a great comparison for you. So I will show you 3 new builds that are really going to impress you, and all of them have some amazing deals right now. One of our clients, actually, she found us also on our social media, and we were able to get her a phenomenal deal. She got under a 5% interest rate. Yes. And on top of that, because she's VA, we were able to help her with, of course, her financing. We structured everything so she didn't have to pay for the down payment. But on top of that, we were able to help her with the closing costs, which saved her about $10,000, and the remaining amount that we negotiated for her helped her with her buy down. And if you don't know what a buy down is, I've talked about this before, but it's essentially where we negotiate a great deal for you so that we're able to buy down your interest rate, which helps you with your monthly payment. Her brand new home ended up costing monthly about $2,200, which is actually less than if she would have bought a resale home for under the $280 that she purchased this house for. So with that, we'll also dive into what your new builds can look like. And lastly, I will show you a special treat at the end, which is going to be buying a home that is under 5 years old, that is going to have all the bells and whistles, and that typically you would buy it for over $400,000, but you can get it for under $400,000. So with that being said, let's get into the video. And for those of you that are new to the channel, my name is Alexa. I'm a local real estate advisor. I have a team here in El Paso, and I'm also an investor. My goal is not just to push you to buy something that isn't in alignment with you. It really is to understand you. Whether you decide to work with us or not, my goal is to give you all the tools for you to be an educated consumer, not be taken advantage of by the tons of realtors that all they care about is to put money in their pocket. I believe that we can take care of people and also take care of our family by doing things with integrity. So with that, I hope these videos are helpful. And if you are interested in scheduling a strategy call, whether you're buying, selling, relocating, we've done it all. Send us a message or go ahead and click on the link down below. We would love to have the opportunity to assist you. So with that, let's get into it. All right, guys. So as we head out to the outskirts of Horizon, I want to emphasize a few things. If you look to your left and to your right, there is going to be a lot of development, right? We see grocery stores, we actually see shopping centers, we see fitness centers, everything that typically you would need in order for you to feel like you're in an area where development is happening. Now, as we cross this little Horizon Boulevard section, we get into the outskirts of Horizon. This is what most people remember, because at one point, all of Horizon was like this. There was going to be dirt roads, there's, you know, these larger lots, which some people might particularly like. This house that we're checking out is actually going to give you a lot of square footage. I mean, we're talking about over 3,000 square feet. For $330,000, you're going to have a 4-bedroom. And as you can see, I mean, you really have a ton of space. And you'll notice right now in a section where I show you the backyard is massive. I mean, we're talking about close to 15,000 in square footage alone for the backyard. And this is something that maybe if you're somebody that wants, you know, to have your large family, maybe you're interested in having RV parking, you don't want to be too close to your neighbors, you're like, Alexa, I want to pay as little as possible for my house because I either am a handyman or I have a handyman at home or we just know construction well, and you are willing to do the commute back and forth, these areas might really be beneficial for you. This particular residence has a ton of square footage, and on top of that, they're separated from a lot of the regular communities, right? They really are in just close proximity to everything I described, which to some people, they really don't want to be next to their neighbors. They really don't want to be, you know, next to all the activity. Some people don't mind that there's older roads and that there's, you know, one-lane streets and of course a longer commute. This is why I want to show you guys that again, in Horizon, it really comes down to what you're looking for. If you value space and more privacy, this might really be something that you're going to say, Alexa, I could do a lot with this. Now, the next section, we're going to focus on the new development. This out here is going to be considered more close to the 375 and to I-10. You can clearly see right away the difference in the road, right? We actually have more development happening. You have your paved streets. You're going to have, you know, at least 2 lanes. On this particular section, as you will see in another segment of the video, there's other parts that will have like 3 lanes. So I like to emphasize on this because if you're somebody that's going to be commuting in and out of, let's say, obviously you stay in Horizon and then you're going to work, you want to know more or less how long is it going to take you to get to that particular area. These subdivisions, just to give you an idea, it's going to take you roughly about 30 minutes to get to the area which would be considered like central El Paso. So if you work downtown or if you work by the airport, if you work on Fort Bliss, that is more or less what you're going to be seeing on a daily commute. And it is really important for you to understand that because I know a lot of the people that watch this channel, you're trying to make a decision, right? Where should you lay your roots? Where should you be? And unfortunately, a lot of people don't have these videos that are guiding you to actually see the good, the bad, and the ugly. And if you don't know where you're buying and you're out of state and your realtor doesn't know the area and they just tell you you're getting a phenomenal price, but they don't actually show you what the area looks like, you might end up being very disappointed. Now, in this subdivision, as we can see, everything is developed. You're going to have a lot of activity going on, from burger joints, movie theaters, game rooms. You're going to have art rooms. There is really a lot happening. Now, this is the first house that I want to show you guys that is going to be on our new home list. I'm going to show you 3. This is the first one, and as you can see here, this is going to be a little entrance where on your left, you can either use that as maybe a bonus room. You could easily add some French doors there and then just add like an office, or leave it as your formal dining area or your greeting room. Here is the custom cabinets that this builder is doing on this particular model. And just to give you an idea, okay, this is really what blows my mind. Out in this area, you can actually end up getting a house that has all the bells and whistles. I'm talking about stainless steel appliances, you know, energy efficient properties that are going to give you your double pane windows, you know, nice black furnishing, everything that a lot, in my opinion, of my clients really like. Obviously, I have some clients that don't want anything cookie cutter and they want everything custom. But for the most part, the majority of my clients will tell me, Alexa, I just want something that looks nice and that is in a good area so that if later I decide to rent it or I decide to sell it, it's going to do well. This house is listed for under $316,000, just to give you an idea. And I think this is phenomenal because in these promotions for these builders, I can really negotiate some great deals for my clients. I'll give you an example. One of my clients that purchased from this builder, actually, what we were able to do is negotiate over $20,000 in closing cost contribution. And that was a pretty big deal, because now what we did is that not only did we help her obtain her VA financing, so she didn't have to pay a down payment, we were also able to help her with her closing costs. So her closing cost would have been close to about $10,000. She didn't have to pay that. And then number 3, we were also able to assist her with ensuring that we dropped the interest rate. So we actually brought down the interest rate, which allowed her to get under a 5% on her interest rate. Now, if you notice a few things are missing on this property, don't be alarmed. It's a property that, of course, is not finished, and some of these are actually not even on the market. But because I have a really good relationship with this builder, I did get access to show you guys these properties, and I really want you guys to just see them before they're even on the market, which is why you'll see that some of the rooms still don't have the lights, and they'll look a little bit darker, but all of that will be taken care of. Now, back to the point I was making with you guys, if you're interested in really just getting as much as you can for your money, and you're like, Alexa, I want to make sure that at the end of the day, I get something turnkey. Like, I don't want to do anything to the property. I just want this house to be something that I move into. And of course, you'll have to do the backyard, right? Because no builder gives you the backyard done. Now you're really talking about something very minimal, right? For the most part, now your interior is going to be fully done, and you just have to move your things in, and of course gradually go ahead and start working on your back landscaping. When you work with me, I do always get great promotions on our front yard landscaping, so I always ensure that we negotiate the premium, not just the basic landscaping package. So if you have questions about that, feel free to send me a message or go ahead and book a Zoom call with our team. I will be, of course, on the call to ensure that we answer any of your questions and essentially ensure that we can guide you and ensure that we really get the best deal for you. Now, a couple of things I want to mention. This particular floor plan is over 1,500 square feet. This is the second new build that I'm going to show you guys. And as you can see, the style is very similar, but different type of cabinetry, different colors. So I know some clients, maybe you're looking for something that is going to be more on the neutral side. Maybe you're looking for something more modern and that's going to pop and be bold. There is something for everybody. And this is really where we want to make sure that you understand who is the best builder for you. Maybe you're like, Alexa, I want something a little more updated and I want something a little more upgraded. I don't want any carpet in the bedrooms. We can arrange for that. Depending on the builder, they are very flexible in helping you get to where you're really happy. Now, of course, they will charge you extra for that if that's not something in their base package. But, get with me and I'll be more than happy to see what kind of incentives we can negotiate for you. Now, this particular floor plan is going to give you your garden tub and then your standing shower, which is something a lot of my clients like. I know that I have certain clients that they're like, I just want a shower. I don't really want a tub. I want to have a bigger overall, experience with the shower. And there really is something for everybody. I have some other builders that do phenomenal work as well with custom. And this is really where we just need to understand what is the best deal for you. This house is also listed for under $316,000. It's in a great community. We have, of course, our concrete sidewalks, which I'm mentioning that because, again, if I was pushing you in the outskirts, you would not see that, right? Even in some areas in the west side, believe it or not, there is not any type of pavement on the sidewalk. So this is something that you really want to know what area you're getting into. Now, also on this third house that I'm showing you guys, it's listed for under $308,000. Okay, so as you can clearly see, yes, there's some workers here. This house are getting ready to put it on the market, so obviously they're working on a few things here, but everything would be completely finished, kind of like what we saw in the other house. You'll have your stainless steel appliances, and depending on the time that you reach out to us, we will also negotiate for you to have your fridge and maybe even your washer and dryer. So definitely send me a message if that's something you're interested in learning more about. Another thing is that you will get easy access for you to get onto 375 and to I-10. That's a huge question from a lot of our community. They want to make sure that, again, you can get from point A to point Z quickly. And this is really where we want to figure out, where should you be? Where should you and your family lay your roots for the time that you're going to be here in El Paso? Now, the incentives are going to vary and your monthly payment is going to vary. So this is really where we need to determine, like, why are you buying this house? For how long are you planning to stay here? Where exactly is the area that is appreciating the most? All of these things are important for me as an investor to understand so that I can really guide you and help you ensure that you're getting, at the end of the day, the best deal possible. Now, I like how this builder actually set up this left room, which I'll show you again in a second, as a kind of like a studio setup, because they added French doors for you to be able to open from, both sides. So in the event that you want it to be like your study or you want it to be a bedroom, you could use it for whatever you want. And I am really getting up and close here with some of the backsplash finishes, because this is something that a lot of builders sometimes just don't really do. They give you something basic and you can really tell that they're trying to cheap out on some of these things, which obviously you're paying a lot of money, so you don't want to do that. Now, another thing here is that you're, again, really close to all of your shopping experiences, whether you want to go and have a late night beer, some wine, whether you want to go and watch a movie. You have some amazing fitness centers. You have kickboxing classes, taekwondo if you have little ones. You're also going to have Round 9 if you're into that. We have a Hot Works out here, your coffee shops. I mean, you really have so much. And this is why I love Horizon, because back in the day when I bought one of my first properties, I bought it in 2016. For those of you that have been watching the channel, you've probably heard me talk about this story before. But when I bought that house, I bought a completely brand new home for 4 bedrooms, for 2 bathrooms, for under $157,000. And it's crazy to me because now obviously the prices have completely changed. Everything has, really grown in value. And for some of you, you might be like, well, that's sad because now I can't buy a house for $157,000. But of course, everything in the world, is, supply. The supply and demand is a real thing. And obviously, the more that things are changing and evolving in a certain area, it's going to increase the price. And for me personally, as an investor, I do see it as, okay, I like the fact that the area is growing. I don't love the fact that taxes are going up, but I'm also like, okay, well, this is actually driving more businesses out to this area. So that's kind of one of those trade-offs. But I do want to emphasize on the last property that I will be showing you guys shortly, is that in that particular area, okay, this is really what I love. You could easily buy the house that I'm about to show you guys for $450,000, like easily. But because it's a resale home, you're going to get some great deals. So I'll get into that in just a second. Now, just to kind of wrap up this section of all of the shopping experience that you'll have, if you're somebody that really wants to have that close proximity to, be able to walk to maybe a shopping center, or if you'd like to drive and you just want to make sure you can go to Starbucks quickly, these areas are definitely for you. And I really, really want to make sure you understand the difference between certain parts of Horizon, certain parts of El Paso, because unfortunately, if you choose an area that is maybe older and you want to have close proximity to go and explore some of these places, maybe you're going to be a little too far away from that, and that might be a deal breaker for you. So definitely get with me so that we can figure out what would be the best area depending on your lifestyle. Now, as you can clearly see, there is a ton of shopping centers here. You're going to have your Burlington. You have a ton of spas also for my people that like to get their pedicures and their manicures. I mean, easily in this area alone, there's like 10 there's like 10 salons that you can easily choose from. One of my favorite is actually going to be called The Cure in Milano. The Cure has like the best scalp treatments. If you want more details about it, follow me on my Instagram. I'm constantly posting of local places that you can check out. Buy and Sell with Alexa is my handle, and I'll make sure to add it here on the video. And The Cure is one of those places where you can go get a full deep scalp treatment, and also you can have your regular services, you know, for your manicures and pedicures. And then for the other place, the Milano place, I really love this place because you can really get a great experience for your manicures and your pedicures. And overall, you just really get a great deal for your money. I know whenever I travel and I go to like places like New York or Miami, I'm like, this is how much here? And over here in my hometown, we get really good deals, you know, for a full manicure. I can spend maybe $40 to $60. I mean, obviously the more stuff you get, the more expensive it'll be. And then of course your petties could be, $30 to like $100 depending on what you get. Now with this next section that I'm going to emphasize is going to be, you do have some great schools in the area. Okay, so Idea is one of them. Harmony is another one. You are going to have your local Horizon schools. If you want me to make a full video on the best schools of El Paso, I'd love to hear your feedback. I want to make sure that it's actually in alignment with what you guys are looking to see on the video. And I can make a full video geared around private schools, and then I can make a full video geared around public schools and which ones based on ranking are the best. I'm a mom, so I know how important it is to ensure that I'm giving my kids the best education. Now, this last property I'm going to show you guys is a resale, and it's a 5-bedroom, 3 bathrooms, a mini baster downstairs. And this is really where you want to see the value, because overall, you're not just buying the house, you're inheriting these upgrades. Like when you buy a brand new home, you're going to need to add, whether it's, the back landscaping, whether you're going to want a privacy fence that's a little bit taller, all of these little things. This house already has everything added, from a farm style fence that cost around $10,000, backyard landscaping, which was an extra $8,000, plantation shutters, another $10,000. They pre-plumbed the water softener installation, so if you want to come and just put your own water softener, you can do that. There is also an outlet already set up for you to just connect your own EV charger. And this is really where building brand new today, if you purchase this house brand new, it's going to run you about $400 to $450, and instead you could really get it for under $400,000, right? Everything is turnkey, everything is done. And for me personally, it's about also how the previous owners took care of the property. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that just don't take care of their houses. They don't give it the maintenance that it needs, and you can see that, when you walk the property, you're like, oh, I don't really think I could live here. But then you see those houses that look like a model home, and you're like, wow, like these people actually really took care of it. This is really where I like to compare things for you guys so that you can decide what is the best deal for you. Make sure that we're getting you the best warranties, understanding what kind of maintenance you're going to be getting yourself into, and just overall knowing what you're going to be investing in. So if this is something that you're interested in, send me a message. Go ahead and feel free to follow us for more videos geared around living in El Paso. And until then, I just want to say thank you for all of you that continue to support the channel. Thank you for coming back. And if there's anything else, like I said, that you guys would like to see, I can't wait to hear from you guys. And until then, I'll talk to you guys on the next one.